Okay, multiplying special cases. So I'm going to, you can multiply the same way we did the last video, like for example, looking at A, 4x plus 1 times 4x plus 1. We're going to do 4x times 4x, and we're going to do 4x times 1, and then we're going to do 1 times 4x, and then 1 times 1, just like we always would. The title of this section is multiplying special cases, and when you have something multiplied by itself like that, we could rewrite this as 4x plus 1 squared, right? And when we do that, what we would get is 16x squared plus 8x plus 1. And what we're doing is we're taking this number, and the first thing we do is we square it, right? And then we take it and multiply it by the second number. So the 4 times the 1, that gives us an 8. Sorry, 4 times 1 gives us a 4, but we do that twice. So we can multiply that by 2, and that gives us an 8. And then the last one is we square the 1, and that gives us a 1. If you're not comfortable doing that, go ahead and write it out. It doesn't hurt you to multiply it the other way. It's supposed to be a shortcut. I don't really like shortcuts very much. I want you to be sure that you know that you're multiplying everything out. Okay, but this was a section in the book, so that's why it's in here. Okay, B, similar idea, but because we have a negative right here and a positive right here, one of our terms is actually going to cancel out. So we're going to end up with 9x squared. It would be 3x times negative 4y and 3x times positive 4y. That's just going to cancel out. So we lose our middle term altogether, and then we end up with 9x squared minus 16y squared. This is actually a difference of squares. Okay. And then C, 3a minus 5b squared. That is actually very similar to A. They just wrote it a little bit differently. So this one I'm going to write out the way the other ones are written out. So we have 3a minus 5b times 3a minus 5b. And it's the same pattern. We square the first one. So 3a times 3a is 9a squared. 3a times negative 5b is negative 15b. Negative 15ab. Negative 5b times 3a is another negative 15ab. So we end up with negative 30ab, because it just repeats, plus 25b squared. Okay, and again, you can multiply it out the long way. This is just supposed to save you a little bit of time if you can memorize or remember the pattern. And the more you do it, the faster it gets, the more you kind of get the patterns down. But to be safe, it's always a good idea to double check yourself and multiply it through. All right, that's good for this one.